Okay, here we go again. This is about the 8th time I've done this. This is the tree app. This is what it looks like. And this is the main page, trees with leaves, trees with needles, view all species, or other info. And I'm going to try to run through this quick. We're going to try to identify this conifer. Okay, so obviously we're going to pick trees with needles. And we're going to go, you can search two ways, by structure or by 15 questions. We're going to do the 15 question. That narrows it down quite a bit more. Now, there's 15 questions to this quiz that match the trees that are in the database. You don't have to answer all the questions, and I do have to tweak this a little bit. This has been going on for 6 months now, and I'm still not done yet. But question 1, needles are either in groups, 1, 2, 3, or 5. Flat in rows of 2 surrounding the twig, needle-like or scale-like, or in whorls along a branch. So this one here is flat in rows of 2. Then we're going to go to question 2. Now remember I said you didn't need to answer all these. Question 2 is, what groups are they in? Well, that doesn't apply to this one. Question 3 is going to be what size. Now these needles in particular are 3/4 of an inch long. And you've got a selection 3 to 2 inches, 3/4 to 2 inches, 2 to 5 inches, or 5 inches or longer, but we're going to take the first selection on that. Now, hopefully this is focused good enough and you can read this. We're going to go down to the next question. Stiff or flexible? We don't really need to answer that. That's for needles in groups. Needles have one or more white lines. If we were to flip this over, and I know you're not going to see it, but if that was focused, you'd see white lines on the bottom of that needle. So we're going to take yes. And the next question, needles are not in groups of 2, 3, or 5. That doesn't apply. That's going to be for spruces and firs. Question 8, the cones are, now here's a cone, and we're going to put it right there. It's very small. Your choices are egg-shaped or round in shape, oblong, elongated, berry-like, noticeably curved or bent, and this one is egg-shaped. And the next question is going to be on the size. Now that one is small, so that's going to be 1 inch or less long. We can get rid of that cone now. Cones have a prickled scale, and there's going to be an illustration there. No, these do not. That question doesn't pertain. We don't have any bark, so we can't answer that question. 13 is for scale-like leaves. 14, cones are erect or upright on tree. Well, these hang, so they're not erect. That answer is no. And then finally we enter the state that we're in, the initials. And that's going to be New York. Submit, and that's going to give you Eastern hemlock. It looks like my camera lost focus, but you can touch that tree, view an illustration. We can go back. I'm sorry, there's a description on the needle, the tree, the bark, the cone, everything you need to know on that tree, the heights. And we could go to an illustration and view that. All the images expand. If we go to a needle, that's an exact match right there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's an exact match. The cone's a giveaway. That's an exact match to our cone. Perfect match. We can scroll over. If we were outdoors, we could view the bark of the tree and compare it to our app. Profile of the tree. We can also view a range map where it's located. It is in New York. And a ruler. Now that I'm going to have to redo and design that one differently. But if we wanted to go back, there's some illustrations that still have to go with this 15 question quiz. If we wanted to do broadleaf trees, and this is what I mean by the illustrations, those are the directions, I'm sorry. This one you just simply pick simple or compound. And there's going to be an illustration for each one. The simple or compound leaves are opposite, alternate, or on a spur twig. And you're going to be right in the woods looking at the tree when you do this. This doesn't need an internet connection. If the trees are not, leaves are not lobed, what's the margin? These pictures will be bigger. That's, you know, fine tooth, blunt tooth, double tooth, partially toothed, wavy. Those are all your choices for that. Here's one on your shape. The shape of the leaf or leaflet is, and that'll go through all the shapes, but you have to answer specifically. If you don't answer correctly and it doesn't pick up what's in the database, it's not going to give you a result. So some of those questions are subjective. You have to and it just crashed. There's still some problems with this. It's been in the works for quite a while. But if we went back to that and we went down, I forgot what I was saying now. But you can go through everything's drawn out. Acorns, spiny husked fruit, right down through to bean-like pods, cone-like catkins, single samaras, double samaras, and you just pick each one of those. Again, you enter the state to find out what it is. Some of the other info in here, you can display all. That'll take you a long time to pick your trees out with that. If we go to other info, you can go to the MyNature Journal, write down what you're doing out in the woods if you want to take notes. Take a state tree quiz and just scroll through the states. If you pick the tree, it'll give you the right answer, and you can go to that tree, to that link, and view everything on that. Let's go to New York and pick a tree. Sugar maple. Sometimes I hate these things. Submit. Go to sugar maple. There's an illustration of the leaf, an actual leaf. Some of the broadleaf trees have fall colors. You can go to the fruit of that tree, which is a samara, the bark, pretty much just like the needles. And also in this is a page on tree facts, a page on scientific names and their meanings, tree morphology, how a tree grows, what the anchor roots do, all that stuff, contributions to the guide, a glossary, and credits and reference page. But there's a lot of content into it. It's been a long time. Hopefully in another month I'll have this out, and then we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.